Dan Schneider is well, a creep with no introduction. When I mean creep, I mean he's literally a creep that's still on the loose. Well, which kind of honestly baffles me why he's not put in jail at all. I wonder. Yeah, as you know, I don't. I seen I seen a lot of videos about Dan Schneider, especially for the past few days or so, ever since the series, the documentary series, Quiet on Set, which involves episodes of the dark history of Nickelodeon shows, which, of course, including the one and only Dan Schneider's. So yeah, if you must know, documentary explores everything the darkness behind the scenes, especially interviews many people that are involved, especially child actors. The most the most notable one I know this story too well is the Amanda Baines, the star of the Amanda Show. I remember watching that show years ago. I remember that very well. It's only created by Dan Schneider, of course, which and until Amanda Bynes, after the Amanda Show is over, her life basically got ruined. You know, all that. And also it had to involve with Dan Schneider, and especially with Dan Schneider. Let's just say he's been the biggest creep for a long time, and also a problematic person in general. Basically, in the interviews, same interviews, that there's a lot of issues with workers, especially female workers, suffered discrimination, sexism, all that. Especially that one part they talk about the writing board meeting part, and basically, and especially suffered through Dan Schneider's behavior. So yeah, and especially as time goes on with the shows Dan Schneider created, it only the only thing I remember most talk about is the well, fetishy kind, which is of course involve feet. I mean, I mean, okay, people have fetishes. If it's with adults, and okay, I don't mind that, but it's still weird. But but do it with actual kids. Um, no. And Dan Schneider, Dan Schneider really displays all of that. If you must know, I watched iCarly 2 years ago, and I remember loving it. I watched Victorious back in the day, and iCarly back in the day with my friends and all. Basically, well, we know so far that about the feet thing, and I really remember that part of the episode of that certain scene in iCarly, which the feet scene right there. Yeah, it really says a lot, and which really aged super poorly, mind you. And basically, it's that's how it is, huh? Unfortunately. And but what kind of baffles me, why hasn't Dan Schneider in prison? And like he legit seriously needs to be put in prison. And especially it's quite laughable after the Quiet on Set was released. Dan Schneider after that, it's literally Dan Schneider's apology right after the documentary was released. And Dan Schneider visited one of the shows, which I heard is that one character, that one show who was hosted by that one character in iCarly. I forgot his name. The one who runs a restaurant with the like. I remember that iconic joke of the tacos on a stick, that type of thing. And overall, that interview is beyond dog dog water. Not gonna lie, Dan Schneider is just there, apologize, and that's it. And like he's basically victim blaming himself. Like honestly, Dan Schneider, we will all forgive you if you should go to jail. Then no, then we all be happy. But honestly, really, but honestly, the the U.S. Justice Justice Department system is all screwed up, everything, and in reality, I I don't doubt, but I really hope he puts in prison for now, because honestly, because all that behavior, all those scummy things he did, he should really put in jail. Okay, and especially I give credit to that one child actor, which with the name, who was it? Drake Bell. Yeah, you know that Drake Bell. Honestly, he did says stuff with his experiences, especially he did made a song about it that exposes the current Hollywood landscape. But then again, Drake, that doesn't mean Drake Bell is fully innocent, because he did some shady shit himself. But all that with problematic child stars, it all comes down with problematic landscape in Hollywood, such as, their parents exploit their kids, their child actors, and which involves abuse, which that will cause an effect towards them as well. But but then again, I don't feel any sympathy for what Drake Bell did. He's not completely innocent, but okay, but what he did is just a step in the right direction. But overall, my biggest the biggest point here, I just want to say, why hasn't Dan Schneider in prison yet? Hmm? Because all the evidence was there, but of course, in Nickelodeon had to. I mean, they did fire Dan Schneider, but it got so goes so far along, like before, like it's kind of baffling. Like Nickelodeon defends Schneider before, but after that, they fire Schneider for that, but for what he did, but they don't do nothing about it. but that goes to show how money and power does to you. So, anyways, if you want to check out the documentary, Be My Guest, you can go ahead and check that out, and check every other videos about Dan Schneider. And overall, in my overall, he really needs to be locked up. I'm not joking with you, but the reason why I say this many times, because it goes far too long, because justice isn't being served. Okay, it's been because Schneider always did this for a long time, long time. So, and he deserves to be locked up. So anyway, guys, that's all I had to say about the whole Dan Schneider slick. And yeah, and what you guys think? What you guys think? Okay. So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. So like a comment, as always, I'll see you next time in my next bits. Peace out.